Good Friday to you, everyone. This is Brian with my monthly review of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic book. Now, you're probably noticing it's a little bit more different than what I usually do. Of course, what I usually do is I kind of record my voice onto a mic, and basically I put pictures on, I basically put the cover of the issue I'm talking about. Well, I figured since I have my camera and I got a lot of batteries now, the ultimate lithium batteries, if you will, which I think are a good brand, I thought I'd probably just do it this way. Now, as you can see, the issue I'm going to review is issue 204, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, this is my last issue in my current subscription. I'm not sure if I'm going to get an extra issue because they do that 13 plus issue deal, or what. But I will resubscribe. It may take to the first of the month or something like that, or even at midnight on the 31st or something, but I will subscribe. Trust me, I'll get issue 205. Either it's a free issue or not. I don't know if we get something in the mail about that or whatever. But anyway, let's get into the issue now, shall we? Excuse me. Trying to put my camera somewhere. Anyway, let me get the issue out. It was still in the plastic, as you saw. And it feels a little thicker than most normal issues. But then again, that's because they have some advertisements in there for Star Wars. But anyway, and of course they got one for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash-Up. Anyway, we start out with the first few pages that were previewed to us. And as we left off in 203, Monkey Kong is under the control of the Iron Queen. Now this is kind of a little weird. I know this throws people off, but this is actually Sally right here saying this. She's saying, Ken, listen to me, you have to fight her control. That's actually Sally saying that right there. That's actually her saying that. I know it seems a little messed up. But, and of course we get the introduction of the characters. But again, we just go with the final, with the first 5 pages that were previewed to us on the Sonic sites were. So we start out with them. Now, I know this gets a lot of people right here where she says, don't hurt him when she's telling Sonic that. But the truth is, you know, we'll get into that later. Now, like I said, we leave off with the final pages and all that. And I think this is the last few pages. I'm not sure. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is 5. Yeah, this is 5. This is where we end right here. The first 5 pages. Now, after the last panel on the 5th page, if you will, basically, you know, Iron Queen and Snively kind of reveal the fact that without the Power Ring crown, you know, she can control him. You know, Sonic basically, you know, it's like, okay, so that's how you want to do it, all right. That gives me a plan. And so he basically mentions to Sally and asks her, basically asked Sally, oh, wait a minute, didn't he have a crown when we first met him a long time ago? And she's like, yeah, he took a power ring that was there. Yeah, and it transformed him. And it transformed. In other words, it was a power ring from the lake. So Sonic goes off asking Sally and the others to stall him. Antoine comes in, kind of gives Sonic that stall, you know, starts that stalling and all that. And Antoine, I have to give Ian Flynn a little credit here. I mean, he definitely gives Antoine a lot of emotion and anger. The emotion and anger is the fact that, you know, that the Iron Queen, hurt his wife, Bunny, and Antoine is basically upset at the fact that, you know, Ken didn't tell them anything, or MK, or whatever you want to call him, didn't tell him anything, and that if he loses his wife, Bunny, it's because of MK, or Ken, whatever you want to call him. Now, Sally fights back as well, saying, hey, blast it, don't fight her, fight us. I mean, don't... I'm sorry. She's basically Sally is telling Ken, hey, don't fight us, fight her. Fight the control. But Ken's not listening because he's under the control. Then in come the Chaotix, or 2 of them anyway. They Vector and Mighty. Thinking, you know, okay, we told Sue we don't need her. The princess says we don't need her, blah, blah, blah. And of course we know why. But as Monkey Kong takes control, oh, look, realizing maybe we do, basically what happens is he says this, as you can see here, he says this incantation, I guess you could say, makes Mighty and Vector go like, uh-oh. And then we go out over here to the ring grotto, where Sonic is patiently waiting for the ring with Nicole. And Nicole is saying, basically Nicole gives him a little backstory, a little back information on the fact that it's energy conversion from Robotropolis nuclear fallout. In other words, it takes time, a lot of time, and there's a lot of, strange distortion in her network right now for the rings to come up. And then, of course, we see right here, if you can't tell, that's Vector and Mighty getting blasted all the way to who knows where by MK. So Nicole says, okay, I'm going to reroute some power. And by doing so, just as Monkey Kong's coming to get him, the power ring pops up. Ken MK kind of crashes into, if you will, or takes down Sonic, just as Sonic is able to plop the crown or the ring onto MK and restore control. Now MK finally explains the reason why he was so angry, why he, was so angry at them being, celebrating and, and why he said there was no freedom fighters. He basically explains that the reason there were no freedom fighters in the Dragon Kingdom, why he was upset at the celebration, and why he bragged about being king was because it's all his fault. Now, of course, we have the Iron Queen here, kind of gloating at the fact, thinking that's that then, instead of explaining we're pulling out. And, of course, being a cocky person, she thinks, they now know not to challenge me, and all the faith in Monkey Fuzz is shattered, now let's go home. And, of course, Ken goes out and just, tells everybody, I thought I could control myself, but I got angry again, and I lost my focus. And he goes on to explain that the Iron Queen released her after the Freedom Fighters were gone, just to mess with him. He tried fighting on his own, he really did. But he admits finally that he's weak, he can't do it alone, he can't be alone. Like being back in the vault, which was in 55. Antoine's still angry. And then Antoine, still angry, goes on to say, so you choose now to be telling us all this? Now that my wife is nearly lost, do you not think she would use you like that again? And Sally's trying to cool Antoine down. And MK saying no, he's correct. And the kids come in saying no, he's not, because we understand where he's coming from. And they basically say, hey, basically understand where he's coming from. But then they say, hey, if we help each other, but we all help in our own way if we help each other. And that we're strong because everyone else is. And they kind of shake his hand and say, if you help us become strong, we'll help you be strong. And then, of course, we have Sally hugging him as well. Now, don't take this out of context. I'm telling you right now, don't take that out of context. This is not what you think. But she basically tells him, hey, we all make mistakes, but we have to understand who our real enemy is and who the real friends are. And, of course, he apologizes to Antoine, and Antoine apologizes for his anger. Sonic brings up something about remembering your yellow streak, when Antoine was a coward. And he goes, I recall it all too well. And he says, oh, yeah, I could bring that totally up now. Oh, and, just started kidding around with him. And then Sally takes the kids, says, I'm going to go check on Tails and to go find Rosie. Basically, take the kids back to Rosie. And Antoine heads off to Freedom HQ to check on Bunny. Sonic says, I'll give you a lift in just a sec, Antoine, or something like that. I guess he's going to give him a lift. And then finally, Sonic kind of straightens out everything, saying, okay, let me get this straight. We got the Iron Domain running the Empire. They got the Dark Egg Legion, plus the 4 houses of the Ninja Clans, and they got 2 bases, in the Egg Dome and the old base back in Dragon Obelisk. Am I missing anything? And MK saying, nope, that's about it. So basically, MK just tells them, okay, yeah, you got everything correct. And Sonic's like, cool. Then we've got our list of butts to kick all set up. Basically saying, now we understand what we're dealing with. And Sonic, said, I'm going to go check on everyone, have fun trying to find your atom bat in the lake. And MK's like, oh yeah, because his weapons and the like. And of course we have Snively in the Egg detention level gloating to his cuckoo uncle that, hey, we've done what you couldn't even without robots. And that he's being treated decently for once. And that he found love, But then he walks off saying, oh, forget it. And don't put him gloating when you can't understand me. And then, of course, Robotnik saying all this gibberish, and all that. And then accidentally he says, hate that Hedgehog and cell block override authority, gamma gamma. In other words, he I guess in some way, kind of overrides the system and gets himself out. And that's about it for the first story. And I'll get into the second story when I come back.